This is a Fox News alert. Right now, outrage around the world is growing after ISIS savagely and viciously cages a captive Jordanian pilot and burns him alive. And tonight, Jordan vowing revenge against ISIS, and in the streets of Amman, the hometown of the murdered pilot, angry protests are breaking out. And here in Washington, Jordan's King Abdullah meeting with President Obama at the White House. Joining us, Senator John Thune. Nice to see you, sir.
Nice to see you, Greta.
Your thoughts today about what's going on with Jordan, the White House, ISIS?
Well, it's a level of depravity and evil that's really without precedent. And I mean, I think we have to identify who our enemy is. And that seems one thing that the White House is really reluctant to do. These are terrorists. And we saw another example today of the barbaric lengths that they will go to make a statement. And I think what it does point out is how important it is that we have a comprehensive strategy to defeat them. And that's something that our president, our commander-in-chief, doesn't seem willing to put forward.
Is it possible to sort of summarize how the U.S. Senate feels? And I'm including Democrats on that. Are they just feeling there's sort of a different idea and strategy, or how to do it, or whether we should be involved in this, whatever? Or is this, or more and more sort of the Senate getting a more unified view of this? I
think there's a growing frustration, even among Democrats in the Senate, about the administration's sort of fecklessness in dealing with this threat. And you know, we see it play out in the whole debate about Iranian sanctions, but in the war on terror as well, just kind of the ambiguity, the policy, the fact that there isn't a clear strategy, a plan to win. I think you're probably going to see more and more senators on both sides expressing openly that frustration. And the one thing I think that comes out of this, and if there is any silver lining, is the fact that you've got a country like Jordan now that's going to be incredibly engaged.
And you know what? And I'm, you know, look, I'm angry tonight, and as most people are. Anybody who's seen that is angry. But you know, I think everyone. I mean, it was impressive that King Abdullah was so tough. But I think we've got to be practical. I mean, he's got real problems in his country. He doesn't have all these weapons. He's got so many refugees from Syria. He's got a huge problem with refugees. He's got ISIS living in Jordan. I mean, and the numbers are staggering, and he doesn't have the money. He depends on us for money. So for us to sort of say, oh, well, you know, good thing King Abdullah's here, well, he may have the personal resolve, right. But does he have realistically the wherewithal?
Well, I think he could be a good partner for us because...
But he has been our partner. They've been doing. Sure. I mean, that's how they lost the pilot. I mean, nothing's really new tonight, except they lost a pilot.
I think, though, they have a really effective fighting force in the region, and you know, with American firepower and help and assets and things like that, it's just we've been looking for somebody that's willing to take the fight to the enemy.
But he was. That's my point. Is that's why that pilot got caught, because Jordan was already doing that, but couldn't do it alone. I mean, that's what I don't get. Is that you know, I tip my hat to Jordan, but that's why their pilot got caught, because they were fighting.
Well, I think there's a new awareness, though, in Japan, in Europe, in France. I mean, everybody's getting hit by this now, and the more that happens, I think the broader the coalition starts to become, and hopefully the level of intensity about wanting to fight this and defeat this will become more intense too.
Well, I hope you are absolutely right on that.
Well, we'll see.
Senator, we also want to talk to you about today's contentious Capitol Hill IRS hearing. President Obama wants Capitol Hill to give the IRS $2 billion more than last year, and today IRS Commissioner John Thune squaring off with lawmakers.
It's awfully hard to go to the hardworking American taxpayers and ask them to comply with the tax laws when you have employees in your own organization that don't comply.
We have already adopted policies to address the problem. Every expenditure of $50,000 or more for training or conferences has to be signed off personally by me.
How do you think that the American people will feel about just you're coming here and asking for more money?
We're not asking for more money over history. We're asking for money back that's been taken away.
Senator, what do you think?
Well, look, you know, their ask this year is an 18.1% increase in funding. The IRS, that's their request, and which I think the American people find outrageous. It's an offense to the American taxpayer, given the fact that the IRS is also now saying publicly that phone calls aren't going to get returned, you know, that they're not going to be able to offer the level of assistance that the American taxpayers should expect when it comes to filing their tax returns. And so the fact that they would ask for a big budget increase, knowing that they've got all this history out there of paying bonuses to their own employees who owed back taxes, is just outrageous. And so, you know, something's got to give here. And the administration and the IRS, there are so many examples. The administration is just rife with examples of wasteful spending and then trying to come to Congress and say we need more money.
All right, well, the reports that we have is that federal employees are tax scofflaws themselves. $3.3 billion in back taxes. So we know where they are. We could attach their win. We just not pay them until we got to $3.3 billion. President Obama only wants $2 billion, and we got $3.3 we can collect there. And on your neck of the woods, Capitol Hill, 714 congressional employees owe $8.6 million in back taxes. And then you got the White House, there's 36 tax scofflaws. Now, what kind of message does that send that to the American people? I mean, really?
Well, yeah, and that's why the American people are so frustrated, and that's why the IRS has a real credibility problem. They're the tax collectors. You know, they're the people who are supposed to enforce the law when it comes to paying taxes, and you get all these people within the IRS who not only aren't paying taxes, but are receiving bonuses.
Yeah, 1,100 employees at the IRS who owe back taxes got bonuses. 1,100.
$1 million in bonuses, 10,000 in paid vacation, 10,000 paid vacation hours. These are the kinds of things that cry out for a response, and that's why I think you see members of Congress expressing frustration. But it can't stop there, and we've got to take steps to make the IRS accountable.
You know, I don't understand though Commissioner Koskinen defending it. I don't understand President Obama asking for more money. It's almost like nobody has any sense of, no one's embarrassed.
Well, and they should be. And, you know, one of the things they're asking for more money is they asked for $490 million and 2,500 new employees to implement Obamacare. That's part of the problem.
Senator, thank you. Always nice to see you. And